The following is a presentation of Playfly Sports Properties and Michigan State Sports Properties. Well, pleasant good evening and welcome. It is Thursday, September 7th, 2023. Welcome to the only show about Spartan Dawgs, hosted by Spartan Dawgs. This is Sparta MSU. I'm your host, Jason Strayhorn, along with my co-host, the boss, Otis Wiley. And Jehuu Caulcrick is on assignment right now, but it's okay. He'll be back soon. We love you. But listen, if this is your first time to the show, we want to welcome you. If this is not, we thank you. And make sure you go to that live chat because that's where the party's at, and let us know where you're watching us from. And be sure to click the like and subscribe button. And don't forget to follow us on all of our social media platforms at This is Sparta MSU. Listen, Otis, it's game week. We just had a game. We're 1-0. We're going into game week this week against Richmond. More on that in a moment. We got a jam-packed show. We got JALEN SAMI joining the show. But let's catch up on a little bit of Spartan athletics, starting with women's soccer.
Yeah, women's soccer had a tough bout. One of our current players, MJ Andrus, is interning. She's an intern coordinator for us here at MSU Sports Properties. But talked to her this morning, or yesterday, and she talked about, they let that slip by. Like, they obviously didn't play as well as they thought they would, but obviously Notre Dame's coming in as a ranked team. Like, they should have did a better job. But it's on to the next one. Obviously tonight they're taking on NC State and traveled from East Lansing over there to play. So cheer them on. Watch from afar, follow them. They need your support, but if you haven't had a chance to get to an MSU women's soccer game at home in East Lansing, you're missing out, and you need to switch some things around. And you need to make a trip up here to see that, because that atmosphere is electric, and supporting them. And we have some great, outstanding student athletes on that field. So cheer them loud. Let's get that win against NC State.
Let's do it. That's going on right now tonight. Men's soccer also had a tough go against Villanova. Otis?
I haven't had a chance to go out and see men's soccer, and Damon is a good friend, and so I need to make my efforts to go out there and see them. But they also are playing tonight, so we got it's a double header from away and home, and so let's hope that we get both wins and we're able to celebrate this next Tuesday as we do a recap where we both got big wins. So let's go green, go white. Let's get them, boys.
That's right. Don't forget there's going to be Ted Lasso night popping off too.
Ted Lasso night, yeah. Spartan. So, look, bring your fake mustaches. If you got a real mustache, go ahead and just shape it up and dye it. But go and bring it out. Everybody, if you watch Ted Lasso, like that around COVID, that was an element of just. It was a great series. It was great content. Just look. It's a good show, right? So it's an element of let's bring it into marketing. Shout out to marketing fan engagement in creating that element of engagement. We want to bring fans out. You want to keep them engaged. And so we know that the Red Cedar Rowdies, that's the student section, the name of Red Cedar Rowdies.
I love it.
Right? It's going to be vibing. So let's look forward to it. We got, University of Dayton coming to town. So, beat them up really bad, fellas.
Beat them up in volleyball. Moving on. Look, they swept 3 matches in the Kathy DeBoer Classic Invitational, over the weekend.
Yes, man. Huge turnaround. We had Coach Johnson on. They weren't satisfied and weren't, happy with how they turned out when they went down to Arkansas. But when you look at these matches that they had this past week, it was a different vibe. It was a different energy, different sense of urgency. and they played very well. Now, if you look at tomorrow, you playing Duke at 7 p.m. at Breslin. So please everyone come out, because we need to show ACC also how we turn out for our volleyball team here, and we need everybody in the stands and getting our girls juiced up for this game or this match. So come on out Friday 7 p.m. at Breslin.
Oh man, that's good. Gotta beat the Dukies. No more upsets for Duke right now. We got to stop that in volleyball world right now.
They're going to kick it off. They're going to kick it off, and then when Champions Classic, we play the Dukies.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yam time. Yam time.
That's what BJ said. It was
BJ Cunningham. With the left.
With the left. It was, because he left in. He was like, with the left.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of the yam time, Jace Richardson set to visit MSU this weekend.
Yes, man. So, forgot to even include this, but I'm glad this is brought up. This weekend is the Spartan Dawgs MSU Grind Week. So if you're familiar with it, this is the alumni weekend for all former basketball players and their families. They have a little private, behind closed doors show with current players that are playing in the league overseas, and along with some of our current players, and kind of engaging with Tom and having a good time, open gym type. Now, this is a great opportunity that we've brought on a corporate partner in Health Alliance Plan and Care Source to be the presenting sponsor of Grind Week. And so this is going to be a great opportunity tomorrow. And we're also going to have a community initiative with the Boys and Girls Club of Lansing to host this small youth clinic for underprivileged and underrepresented groups, because those camp fees cost a lot, Stray. Basketball camp, that fee is pretty pricey. So let's give back to the Lansing community, and let's reach out and help our youth. And so Coach Izzo was very opening, offering that opportunity. And so this is going to be a good event. So stay tuned with some recap stuff there, but it's going to be good to see Jason. He was here last year too, when we played against Wisconsin. So, he has some young ballers or sons. So let's see.
Yeah,
right?
This is it.
Yep, this is the visit. But
this is the visit.
Let's get it.
Right. Listen.
Legacy,
I don't envy Jason. Let him feel some pressure, right?
Yeah, Legacy Richardson, Legacy Strayhorn. Okay.
The same time?
Same time, baby. Let's do it.
Awesome, man. It would be. But listen, talking about the talent level for Michigan State, Fox put out a list. CBS on Fox, or College Football on Fox, put out a list of the most talented teams in the Big Ten. And Michigan State.
Where are we at? I see it.
Yeah. What was that, 5th on the list?
5th. Now, listen, it's rankings, their list, right? Let's convert these things to wins now. So
it's talent. So this is showing it's showing the 247 Sports.
Yeah.
Shout out to Corey Robinson and all those guys. They're just showing the stars. And right there, Michigan State has 21 4-stars, which is a little bit off the pace from Ohio State, who has 63 4-stars and 10 5-stars. But definitely good for 5th out of 14 teams right now, which is not bad, Otis. Just like you said, got to convert those into W's.
Yeah.
So far.
Then W's and culture, we start to attract even more. So
more talent.
More talent. So because the current talent recruits the future talent, right? So
sure does.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to recruit the players every day. Recruit them. That's the name of the game right there. So listen, be sure to click that like and subscribe button if you are watching us right now live, and follow us on all of our social media platforms. We'll be back with JALEN Sami after this message from our friends over at IHOP.
Introducing new buttermilk biscuits in sweet and savory flavors, so everyone can have their perfect biscuit. Or add one on the side. Get a breakfast biscuit sandwich with a side for just $7 for a limited time.
Definitely like dropping the stacks on that one with our friends over at IHOP. And right now, without further ado, JALEN Sami, call me Sammy, joins This is Sparta MSU. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh man.
Hey, look, you taking you so wide and big, man. You taking the whole frame, my dog.
I know.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you joining, man. We definitely like to get our current dogs on the show, man, and talk about what transpired and happened on Friday, man. Like, this is your first time in the East Lansing in Spartan Stadium, the Woodshed. Just talk about fully, that experience, man, because I know it's been a long time coming to a new thread count of a sports team and who you playing for. But talk about that.
It was definitely a blessing. It was good to be out there. Different team. I played at Colorado for my whole life. Born and raised from there. So the first time playing and actually being outside of Colorado was coming here to East Lansing. The fans were great. The chemistry, the atmosphere was just top tier. It was just a good feeling to be back there. I can't wait to go back, this Saturday.
Yeah, I know the Spartan fans can't wait to watch you play on Saturday as well, man. I saw you out there against Central Michigan causing a lot of damage. Big number 99, 6'7", 330, brother. But look, you coming from Colorado. When you signed originally out of Colorado Springs with Colorado, it was with Mel Tucker, right?
Actually, it was with the previous head coach, McIntyre.
Okay.
And so after him, I got there. Then they were recently let go during that 2018 season. And then Tuck came in for a year. So I got to play my first year freshman under Tuck, which was a good feeling. And yeah, after that, then I've had three other head coaches. Had about 6 or 7 other D-line coaches. So it was just a ride for me.
Wow. So talk about the situation. Like Coach Tucker comes in. How was that? Like, how was that transition? Because I've been a part of a coaching change, Strayhorn as well.
Yep.
But people don't want to know, like, how is that transition? Because you obviously was signed with guys, you've been in, you say you're born and raised Colorado. You've been putting Colorado on your back. You got a new coach come in. Talk about that transition with Coach Tuck and meeting him for the first time.
Meeting him, it was definitely a little shocking. Freshman year, you was expecting to be with the first position coaches and head coach, but he made it a challenge for the players that were there. If you can play, you can stay, but if you're not gonna want to play or give everything for this program or for the game, this is not the place for you. And so, being young, I wanted to go out there and prove myself, especially coming off of an injury. I wanted to be better than I was previously. So meeting him, he's just the same guy that when I came here, strict, but he loves the game of football, tells you the truth, jokes around, but he's very professional about how he attacks the game, how he preps for it, and how he coaches us. He's on us very hard daily, but it's for the best, for you to get better and then for the team overall. So,
man. So you had McIntyre, then Tuck, then another coach, right? So so this is 3 coaches, and then here comes a guy named Deion Sanders. So were you a part of that first meeting that everyone's been seeing online when he walks in talking about his Louis bags?
Yeah, I definitely was. I was in the front row on the side. It was an experience. He's a good coach and everything, but I just felt as well. It's my last year. I only have 6 months last season. I got to go somewhere new. He's flipping the program around. As you can see, they did good things against TCU last weekend. So I felt that for both myself and Colorado, I get a new beginning. And as soon as I entered the portal, Tuck reached out, and I felt, there was a connection because my freshman year to my senior year, going back to play for Coach Tuck would definitely be a cool ride. So,
Yeah. What's talk about, people we had guys on like Chuck Brandley like had hit the portal, and it's just kind of the fear of unknown of like schools gonna reach out. But once you hit the portal, did you have any other schools reach out, or Tuck was the first one to be like, hey, Sami's ready. He's available. Like, let's get on, let him get to Beast Lansing, and we know we can get him.
As I had a couple schools, they reached out, especially with all the coaching staffs that I've been through. Previous coaches that are now at other universities, they definitely reached out, tried to connect with me. But to MSU was one of the first ones to reach out, and then a couple other schools came down later down the road. But you know, once you enter the portal in the summer, it's a quick turnaround. You don't have the spring to figure things out. And so I came on my visit within the first week of being in the portal here, and it felt right, it felt good for me, especially for my family, for them to come out and see how it is, and just moving away from Colorado for the first time, big step, but it was a necessary step for me to get to the next level or whatever the future holds for me.
Jalen, when did you arrive in East Lansing? What month?
The end of May, so June 1st or the 31st of May. That was my flight, so Memorial Day, I believe. And I've been here ever since.
So you actually went through spring with Prime.
Yeah, I was this spring with Deion and the Bufs for that. And it was a pretty wild experience, no lie.
Yeah, so turnover, because you were one of the people that had to experience it. I mean, they talk about it. It's been like talked ad nauseum about how many new players came in. I think 65 or more than that scholarship players left the program, and you're one of them. But when you're seeing that attrition start to happen, what was the feeling and emotions that came out with you?
It was a handful. You have uncertainty, and just being as an older vet guy that I started every year as a freshman at Colorado. I feel like I have a lot of experience, a lot to bring to the table. But with Coach Prime coming in, it was just about who's going to play, who's going to be the best, and how they can help. And he had to flip the whole team around. And, we felt that it was necessary for us to both part ways. And I feel like I'm at a good place here, and they're definitely doing their thing over there back in Colorado, back home. So.
Well, we're happy to have you, man. You're part of the family for sure.
I'm glad to be here, for real.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, right. So, talk about, that fall camp. It's a different. I don't know if it's a change of pace, but obviously just different, leadership and coaching. From your spring with Prime and obviously with Coach Tuck coming in and that fall camp. You cracked that starting lineup and rotation. But you came and had to work for it. But like, just talk about what's your main focal point and objectives of when you got here on campus and was able to finally suit it up. What were your goals and your objectives to obviously get prepared for what you did on Friday and then ready for this Saturday?
So my main goal, as a defensive front, the D line, the D tackles were pretty stacked up. We got a lot of depth, a lot of talent, which that rotation was one of the key factors why I wanted to come. Being at Colorado, I was mostly, the starter, and I took multiple reps. So it felt like I wasn't putting my best film out there. It felt like you're just out there to survive because you know what to do, you know how to do it, but you're not playing at, your best potential. And so that was one of the things that I was looking forward to. And so me coming here, just wanted to compete against Sim, compete against D-Harm, Maverick Hansen, and JJ and Dre. We're pretty stacked, but we all have our differences and just wanting to get better. And that competition level between all of us and the experience that we all have, we all feed off each other. We all work against each other or work to get better. It felt good to be in a room that has the depth and the talent that I haven't had since being here or being in college. So.
To be honest with you, I don't think you're going to see much of that anywhere in the United States, Jalen, when you look at the way you guys are built. And this, the talent is one thing, but the depth, you talked about that, but the sheer size of the defensive line, especially at the tackle position that you play, you just, all those guys you named, like, there's not a guy that's under 6'4", 6'5", and then there's not a guy under 300 pounds. And you happen to be one of the bigger ones at 6'7", 330 plus. I don't know. What are you weighing today?
I weigh 340.
Hey, guards, they feeling every bit of that, come third, fourth quarter too, man. Yeah. Hey, so
had a big dinner last night.
Right. That's how it goes now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I don't know if you saw that, people are rating, Pro Football Focus stuff, and they said that you graded out the number one defensive tackle in the Big Ten in the last game at pass rush productivity and also pass rush win percentage, getting to the quarterback and making, like, you didn't get a sack per se, but watching it with my eyes as an offensive lineman, you made a huge impact up there. And you got guys like Simeon Barrow right next to you that can disrupt. And, there's a lot of guys there, but are you you just talked about you wanted to show something different on film. You wanted to, with that depth, does that help you?
Definitely, being able to lock in on our opponents, getting the keys that we needed to, being able to rush the passer when I was mostly a run stop defensive player and a pocket pusher in the pass rush game. With the rotation that we have, I can play fresh. I can play freely, especially with the coaching with Coach Reynolds and the defense that Coach Hayes calls up. It allows us to make plays while we're doing our job, which is rushing, getting up the field, controlling blocks, and then, shedding off blocks and making plays. So that's definitely one of my key focuses that I wanted to do and achieve here while I'm here in East Lansing. So,
talked about Diron Reynolds. You brought him up, the coach. He's new too. How was his style?
So compared to the 9 position coaches I've had, he's different. He's very respectful, but he's also knowledgeable. He's very intentional about his work, about the film, about how he teaches us and how we understand it. And then he gets, he has to teach the D ends and the D tackles everything. So it's like, it's pretty long to watch the film about 4 times. That same clip over 4 times for each player. But, once you see someone else's mistakes, you can actually learn from that as well, from yourself, and help improve your game, your knowledge of how to, attack and be a more productive player. And that's one of the keys that I wanted to do. And one of the reasons why I came here is be coached by Coach Reynolds.
Yeah. Coming from last Friday and, that first half was getting, we had some outstanding goal line stops. That's main pressure from up front. And then you got my guys, like, I get love them, my DBs, because they were setting the edge, right? They were setting the edge, but it would allow y'all to get there, right? Talk about, what are some things that we all know what we did well on and we were great at. What are some things that we have to fine tune from a defensive front, or if you're just pressure-wise leading into Saturday against Richmond?
Definitely just capitalizing on those contact opportunities, being able to finish the plays, wrap up, squeeze, grab cloth, and as well as our communication, with our defense. We allow too many penalties, so we definitely got to clean up there. And some were selfish, some were accidental, but, that's just all technique, again, and being in the right place, having the right footwork, and being able to make the plays. So, like, for myself, definitely capitalizing on them sacks that I missed. I was pretty upset about that, but definitely being able to, move on to the next play, being able to just be neutral about the results and focus on what's next, the process of how we, get things done. So,
yeah. So here's interesting. Do you eat pancakes?
I do.
So So I'm not sure if you're aware. There is a trick. We call it trigger promotion. So when y'all go out there and get 3 sacks, everybody in Sparta Stadium gets a free stack of pancakes. So you got that last Friday, but I feel like y'all could have had that in the first quarter. So any motivation, just know that Saturday,
for nothing else, you get free pancakes.
Get those 3 sacks, and then on Sunday morning, you go ahead and go into IHOP right there downtown East Lansing or in East Lansing off Grand River and get you some pancakes, man. But look, everybody wants y'all to go ahead and get it. I know that's gonna make y'all hungrier too. So go ahead and get it, man. Get it right.
Definitely will.
Absolutely, man. Hey, look, go get those pancakes. And like you had a lot of family members in town, if I wasn't mistaken. We saw you at the pizza house. Did you have some people from Colorado and family?
Yeah, so I had my mom. She flew out, my aunt as well, and my uncle, and then my girlfriend is here now. So
okay.
Yeah, those were my group of family that comes. I still have multiple families, At Colorado, the most I had was 53 guests.
Ooh.
Yeah.
53 tickets?
Yeah, 53 tickets for
Yeah,
my
you
family.
was asking all the teammates.
Let me get folk, man. Come on, man.
I know you're not using this. I know you're not.
I know you're not using it.
Come on, just
You want to make you wait? Hold on, dog. Yeah.
I might have 1 or 2. I was like, bro, I need like 10.
Something tells me at 6'7", 340, you could be a little persuasive in the locker room.
Yeah, a little bit, But I'm a nice guy, I gotta do it all I love, but if I have to, I might have to get it back.
Right. Speaking about what you love, man, what are some hobbies? Let Spartan Nation know, like, who is JALEN Sami? Like, what do you love to do? What's your hobbies? And we're gonna get you some rapid fire questions after that too.
I got you. So some hobbies, as you said, 6'7", 6'6", 330, 340. I love to eat. Love to cook, barbecue.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You talking what we do?
Barbecue.
We smoking the food and the meats, or we grilling? Like
we grill. I'm a griller. Charcoal.
Okay.
Charcoal. Oh, gotta be charcoal.
Charcoal specifically. I don't like gas,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But no, definitely. So I do like a marinade. So Polynesian. I don't know if y'all have like poly food. I know definitely in Cali.
Yeah.
There's not many out here, So definitely that soy sauce marinade with some brown sugar and everything. Just a little. I just want to make some right now. Talking about it.
Katsu, teriyaki,
everything. So I like that. I love playing volleyball. It's definitely a sport that my family loves to play. Volleyball.
You hear that, Coach Johnson? Coach Johnson, our head coach volleyball. She does. You said he was what Jay? You said he was all conference,
all state,
all
state.
So you need to go out and support the volleyball team on you can't do Friday because you're gonna be locked in the hotel room. Definitely when you can go support them for sure.
One of these games I definitely will.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What else? Love bowling. I love to go bowling, but other than that, I'll be playing the game or watching some shows.
What's your game?
I'll be on COD, Warzone, Call of Duty. Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes be on Madden and 2K, depending on who I play with. But other than that, that's my go-to.
Got you. What you listening to pregame? What's on your headphones?
It's a mix. People from back home, they know that I got a lot of genres. From blues to jazz to old school R&B, hip hop, rap, country, some gospel, island reggae. But if it was my go-to.
This is my spirit brother right here, man.
Right. Oh yeah.
If it was my go-to before the game, like at the hotel, I'm probably listening to some island reggae or some R&B. Just get the soul. Feeling good. And then when I'm in the car or on the bus on the way here to the game, some rap or probably mostly rap when I'm here. But sometimes I love that old school and I let it ride to the whistle blow.
I love it. That's one thing about the Polynesian culture I've learned since being in Southern California, man. Y'all got soul. Y'all like to have fun. I love it. I love the culture. And barbecue. Oh, they like the barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
At any time. Hey, man.
Anywhere, whenever.
Hey, look, it's supposed to have with Mr. Ken or Kim's dad, because he throw down on that grill too and that smoker. So we're going to have to try to line something up, man. We got to probably do it like Thursdays when he gets to stay at his own crib, not have to go to the hotel on Friday. But yeah, we'll make sure to send you a note, man. Go ahead and see if you can whip something up too, man.
Oh yeah, send the family on over, man.
We'll do. Free game, yep.
What's some things that you have learned about East Lansing since you stay here? Like what's the spot that you frequent, food wise, nightlife, whatever the case may be? But what have you found out? What's your favorite spot right now?
My favorite food spot is Charlie Kang's. I don't know if you ever had that.
It's right here on the corner. Yeah, I know exactly where you're at. I walked in there, but the service is a little bit slow. I had to get something quick. So
you gotta order. Just order it, pick up.
Order. Okay.
It's gonna be smooth. But you ever tried the galbi from there?
No, I'm about to now.
It's the short ribs, beef short ribs with some rice, extra rice.
Oh,
that's my go-to.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite spots. Maverick put me on.
Maverick did? Oh, and I love Maverick Hansen. He grubbing too. I know he be grubbing.
So
y'all know what y'all do
about that. Yep. We know who to ask for actual real pointers on where to go eat. But
absolutely.
I say bars. I came on my official visit and I was at the field house. So definitely,
okay.
Like field house is a cool spot, but downtown Lansing in general, it's pretty nice, open. It's right next to the campus. So I haven't been everywhere else, been locked in with football. But
absolutely, as you should. Good answer, brother. Good answer.
Those were my main spots. But Charlie King, that's the go-to.
All right, I'm gonna have some of that for sure.
Yes.
Now, I guess before we let you go, man, because we gonna obviously break down Richmond coming into town. What's some keys to the game and a win for the Spartans on Saturday? According to you, so I know you've been playbook, you've been watching film, but according to you, what are some keys to the game that we be able to be successful and dominate?
Stopping that run. It all starts up front. Stop the run early, get them to be one-dimensional and throw the ball. Our DBs can cover, and that allows us defensive line to be able to rush the QB, dial it up, stunt games, or just even straight rush. And I feel that we can do that. It's been an emphasis on us that it starts up front with us, D tackles and the D ends. If we can tackle the ball within the box, it's gonna be a pretty good one this Saturday. So
absolutely,
definitely stopping that and adding pressure to the QB. He's an athlete, he makes plays, but if we do that, we'll be pretty good.
Don't forget they had 4 turnovers, man. So if you get in their head, you start getting that ball off of them, they'll keep giving them to you too.
That's a key, get the ball out. It's all about the ball here. So strip attempts, run and reach on the quarterback, trying to get the sack strips, or even interceptions with the pressure up front, forcing uncomfortable passes, and then tips and overthrows. We got to get those.
Yeah. Listen, I played with Dominic Peko. And he has the absolute best fumble recovery for return against that team down the road, which you're going to have.
I saw that one live.
And I'm praying and I'm hoping you got that opportunity.
You got me about to burn up over here. To
score that. So, yeah, man, look, hey, have a great game, man, on Saturday, man. Get that rest, watch film, look, elevate those knees, eat some good food, man. You be fresh out there Saturday. You see us on the sideline, man. Don't be afraid. Dap us up, man. Give us some love, brother.
I got you. I appreciate
you spending time.
Welcome
man.
to East Lansing, man. Love to have you again, man. Thanks for joining the show.
All right, sounds good. Talk
to you later. Peace.
Man, JALEN Sami, but you can call me Sammy. Hey, man, great dude right there.
Absolutely. We talk about, man, we have not had a bad interview for one of our current players. Like, they're all outstanding guys, character-wise. You can see like it's a team mindset that comes across them, that it's all about the team. But it's good to get to know one of our newcomers that added in our new additions, right? Like, good to see him. He's graduated. Obviously, we should have touched that and asked him about that. He's graduated, so he's on to his master's degree. That's an element of just like stacking up the tips before you do hang these cleats up, on the college level. But from the size, from the speed he has, this man has the future.
Oh, he's gonna be in somebody's camp.
Absolutely,
he can play himself into a draft position to keep doing what he's doing.
Absolutely,
that's a guy that's gonna go to the combine and the scout's gonna say, "Whoa!" right away.
Absolutely,
there's no question about that. Just based on his frame, and I mean, just a humble kid. I love the humility. I love it. The whole team. There's no
whole team.
Where's the bad guys?
Yeah,
they must be gone.
Yeah, unless we just striking gold, and everybody we book and bring on, we just gotta we attract it. But I don't know. It's every interview, man. It's very humble. It's very like these guys know like it's business. It's business. I think that's a direct reflection of Coach Mel Tucker and that staff, which we got to always give credit to where credit's due. Those guys are leading our team. We have good leaders. We have good coaching, and it's direct reflection of our players too. So great interview. I'm glad he came on board to spend time with us tonight.
Awesome interview. And, this is a direct reflection of the sun that's beaming down on me right now. We gotta get some help from our partners over at SeatGeek for a commercial.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception? First down? Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Gotta love SeatGeek. Otis, now it's time. JALEN SAMI was awesome. Look, it's time to break down the game that everybody wants to know about, and that's Richmond. The Richmond Spiders come into town this week after a disappointing loss to Morgan State.
Yeah, Trey, you hit on it as we were kind of rapping and brainstorming and kind of backstage production meeting, that is they had 4 turnovers, you said, right? Like it was an element of you got a fresh new quarterback starter who, is basically, has some good legs, but, like what JALEN SAMI said, keys to winning was we got to keep him in the pocket, but more so stop the run, because once the run, you're making him one-dimensional where he has to pass it. And, it sounded like, from him, they 100% trust our defensive secondary to control the air, which is a different, tone from last year. Like we didn't know, it was so inconsistent. Now these guys are truly locked in and they're holding in on their zones, so they allow the front 7 to get home. So I think this is going to be an element of Richmond's coming in. This is the first time ever us meeting with them. And so you already know the shock factor. Like they want to shock the world all the time when we play these types of teams. They're coming in with the chip on their shoulder. Clearly, like this is a storied program. This program has won a national championship in 2008, multiple conference championships in FCS. And so this is not just your team that's coming in just to get the pay to come play us, right? Like this is a team that's looking to stack up on momentum, from getting in once they go to their conference play. So I'm looking forward to domination, clearly, like from a standpoint of starting out last Friday. It was kind of, we took a long time to get momentum, start to get kind of gelled with each other, playing a different team. It takes a minute, but we want to start out fresh, hot off the press, getting going out the gate. Like we said, let the lines out the gate. We got to let them out. We got to let them go so that we're able to see these young guys that's waiting in line to get some experience and game-like experience, because it's going to help us down the road.
Without question, that was a great point. I mean, you have, Richmond head coach Russ Huesman coming to town in his 7th year right now, bringing a record of 33-30 to the table for the Richmond Spiders. It's in its 15th year overall as a coach. And, the story was turnovers a week ago when they came in, but don't forget they were ranked 16th in the country in the FCS, the football championship series, coming into Michigan State in the Spartan Stadium with upset on their mind, which was going to bring us to the game day stat breakdown brought to you by Main Financial Group, Spartan Nation's main partner in retirement. Jordan and the fellas over there at Grand River and Brighton Road will take great care of you. Be sure to call them at 248-347-MAIN, and that's at mainfinancialgroup.com. Otis, the stats. You talked about it just a second ago when you brought up Kyle Wickersham, the quarterback and the running back, basically. He's doing it all for Richmond. When you look at his performance a week ago, 21 carries for 39 yards and a touchdown. And he also was 23 of 30 for 169 yards, but threw one pick, a costly turnover.
Yeah. That to me sounds like that's a well-balanced, obviously, stat, see, from game standpoint. But for us, as if I'm looking at going back into the defensive mindset of as you're scouting and you're going through the week and preparing, any mobile quarterback, dual threat, technically, let's take the dual out. These are triple threat quarterbacks, right? Like yes. these guys they're quick, they're swift. And if you don't control in the tackle box and they get out in space, there can be a lot of problems, especially when you talk about third and longs where, yes, we may lock the air down, but if we don't convert and get them closed gaps in better pursuit of angles from last Friday to this Saturday, it's going to be a wide open space of him getting these second chances to get to a closer to fourth and short. And then I feel like the chips are all on the table. There is not going to be that much, punting, especially in territories like they're just going to go. Like they have nothing to lose, right? So it's an element of like let's control that pace. But that's a well-balanced stat sheet from him. And for us, it's like, well, let's close that run game down. And let's rely on his passing, because if we rely on his passing, we'll lock this down and be a lot of 3 and outs. And then that's our mindset is like, let's control the air because we know our front seven is going to come after him, right? The more hits we take, the more hits we get on him, the more it gets slowed down and he's kind of second-guessing quick, short throws. Like he's trying to get that thing out because if we first play the game, we make that announcement and JALEN SAMI and Barrel come down there like, hey, like, welcome to the Woodshed, right? Welcome to the Woodshed.
You got to get free pancakes for everybody.
Absolutely. Let's get them quick. Early. Let's get them quick. Early. Yes, absolutely. Early.
Yeah, as Richmond had 265 yards total offense. We just said, 169 through the air, 95 total on the ground, but just costly. 3 fumbles and 1 pick, as you talked about a minute ago. 4 turnovers for the Richmond Spiders. Michigan State defensively needs to really continue to press on that because, as you know, as a player, if you start having that bad luck and you fumble again, that sideline will get to here we go again, and things can pile up on them, huh, Otis?
Absolutely. I mean, you think about the other side of the ball, like let's not look over the defensive side on the Richmond Spiders because they got some vets, right? When we talk about 6th years, we got some now 7th years. Like these are well-machined vets that are coming in. But I feel like stacking, you remember how like, the paper State News used to do like matchup, like who's winning the position groups, right? Like clearly on each position group, we have the edge. But from a standpoint of we want to see our vets, our Trey Mosleys of the world on the wide receiver have a breakout game. And so, because we know the other guys are going to get their love too, but pound for pound, when you talk about position groups, wide receiver, corners, clearly our receivers have the edge. But I feel like we should, next time we have a recap, let's break down position group, who's winning that from a standpoint of expectation. But run game, let's just pound green pound, because then that's just going to allow, like, we'll wear and tear, and you know it, Stray. Pound green pound, we wear and tear, it's open up the air. So it is what it is.
I mean, the Michigan State offensive line should really lean on the Richmond Spiders defensive line. They're led by the linebacker, leader, team captain, Tristan Wheeler, who leads actually the entire NCAA in all levels in tackles. with 383 career tackles as an active player in college football. So this isn't a slouch. This guy who just had 17. Yeah.
Season opener?
22.
Oh, 22.
Yeah.
Oh,
17 was just this year
Yeah.
in the opener. 22 last year in the opener against Virginia. So that's a Power 5 school, just for those who are counting at home. If you have an FCS linebacker, that's kind of the old division the 1AA, making 17 and 22 tackles in that case a year ago against Virginia, he can play.
He can play. We talk about he got the C-ball appetite. C-ball, eat ball, baby. Because, look, you can tell he's out here going everywhere which way and putting the team on his back. And you gotta know where he's at all times. And, like, you probably going to see Noah point, right? Like, he's there. He's here. He's there. And so the communication is key of know where he's at all times because he's a difference maker. He's their playmaker, right? He's their guy. So, you know, we make sure we isolate him, make sure he doesn't come sneaking through. We'll have a great day on Saturday.
That's right. He had 17 tackles a week ago against Morgan State and a sack. You have to control Mr. Wheeler if you're going to be successful as an offense. And just for statistical purposes here, Michigan State is 7-0 versus FCS schools previously in the history of college football, and we're celebrating the 100th anniversary of Spartan Stadium in Michigan State's 127th season. Michigan State's last win over an FCS opponent was against Youngstown. That was a while ago. It was 2014.
Yeah,
I believe it is. It was a while back. So hey, look. I think that over time, you may not. We need to start fast, but the score may not look like a blowout super early. I mean, that's what we'd love to see, but I think Michigan State is in a mindset of trying to get everything tuned up and primed up so they can handle business this week against the Richmond Spiders, and then what's coming up next week with the Pac-12 opponent, a new Big Ten opponent coming in 2024, entering Spartan Stadium in Washington.
Oh, yeah. And, we don't want to look too far ahead because, we got to take care of, obviously, Saturday. But to your point, great point, Strayhorn, making sure that we do what we do best is play Spartan football and control what we can control and not have negative reps. I think that's the element of, like, positive reps, progress, drive down the field, get always in every possession, get points on the board, field goal or touchdown, right? Right. And I think that's the element. And for us on defense, is always 3 and outs, control of the sudden changes, because there's obviously football. It's football. There will be sudden changes, but like control what you can control, and let's stack it up so we can get prepared for that third week against Washington.
Can't wait for it, Otis. I mean, listen, I think it was a great show. A great interview with JALEN SAMI from Colorado Springs via Colorado with 9 to 10 position coaches, but finding a home here in East Lansing, which is awesome. Awesome to talk to him. Looking forward to this game against Richmond. And don't forget to buy Jehu's book. He might not be here, but he's always here in spirit. Run from Civil War to the NFL on Amazon. Go to the link in our bio, and you can get to all of those things, including the new merch, Otis. We got to get us some new merch too. But like the new merch that's been dropped on our thisisspartamsu.com. Go buy it. Lots of new tumblers, flags, stickers, and much more for your tailgating. If we see you with some of those items, there's going to be some free tickets. And we're doing it. We're working on it. We're working on some free tickets, some contests. See,
now, listen, if you're making your way down to East Lansing, please stop by, show some love to the vendors and the partners. In Fan Fest at Munfield, we open at 12:30. So if you're there promptly, you got some food trucks there. You get to eat good. You get to hear some radio, some good music. Also, Big Ten Network is there on site in Munfield too. So if you want to try to get your face on the big screen as they're doing the college game day around the Big Ten, definitely come out early, show your support. Let's have a good time. Let's get this thing rocking.
Oh, can't wait for it. Don't forget, Spartan Brew newsletter has been launched. We'll have
this morning. Subscribe. We have the QR code here. Subscribe, man. All news, baby. All news of Michigan State athletics in one spot. And we're just hey, supporting everybody in every sport, every student athlete, every administrator, every coach. We have to show the support, but this is a way to do it as you're drinking your coffee, your tea, whatever your choice is in the morning. You know, it's 5 o'clock somewhere too, so you might want to do a Bloody Mary. But, you know, you're able to read stuff here, and you're able to catch up on all news. So feel free to please click, subscribe, get those numbers up, because we're just trying to drive a lot of support to our brand, but also MSU athletics. So appreciate the love and support.
Gotta love it. Hey, and that'll put a bow on it for us. And for Otis Wiley, I'm Jason Strayhorn. This is Sparta MSU. Have a good night. God bless, and go green.
Go Wyatt.
This is Sparta MSU is a combined presentation of Playfly Sports Properties and Michigan State Sports Properties. The show is produced by Tony LaBarbera, Tony Gustella, and Process Driven Consulting. Additional support is provided by Brendan Duravage. On-location technical support provided by Good Fruit Video. Be sure to follow our host Jason Strayhorn, Jehuu Caulcrick, and Otis Wiley on social media. To stay up to date with all the latest This is Sparta news, please like and subscribe by visiting our link tree, and tell a friend to do the same. Thank you for your support, and as always, go green.